Hi friends, welcome to EduStar. If you are watching the video for the first time, please subscribe to my channel. Then share, comment, like. Today we have the Kerala Syllabus Class 5 Social Science Unit 1 short note. Textual questions and answers. Let's go to the video. Unit 1. A Road to History. Friends. The school of friends you attend is from many years ago, but it's still there. And the school will still be there for years to come. Then the school will have a history. The school was built on that day. Who are the teachers there? There is so much to know, isn't there? As well as our home, country, objects, roads, temples and churches all have stories like this each. That is the history of them all. So what we are learning in this chapter is about history. History is the record of the progress human beings acquired through the ages. The tools, coins, utensils, other historical remains, and the written documents are the major sources that help us to record history. The period with written documents is called historic period and the period prior to written documents is called prehistoric period. This is the picture of a school. You are also studying in such a school, aren't you? You know a lot of facts about your school, don't you? Try to write down the details of your school. Name of the headmaster or headmistress, number of students, number of teachers, names of teachers, library, laboratory, computer lab facilities, availability of playground, number of buildings, details of the place where the school is situated, district, taluk, village, survey number, panchayat, municipality, corporation. Discover and record now. Let us gather the data on the past of our school. What information to be found out? Year of establishment, former teachers, alumni, buildings at the time of establishment, later changes. From where do we get this data? Name, board of the school, plaque, school diary, annual souvenir, attendance registers of previous years, admission register, the elders living near the school, alumni, PTA representatives, searching for evidence, like the school. Each family, village and country has its own history. We get information on the food habits, dress, dwelling places, occupation and administrative system of different ages through historical inquiry. This information helps us to recognize the gradual development that human beings attain through different periods of history. History is the record of the progress that human beings acquired down the ages. Prehistoric period. The period before the formation of art of writing is known as prehistoric period. You have mainly used the written records and documents to prepare the history of your school, haven't you? What sources can be used to draw out information on human life that existed before the beginning of the art of writing? The remains of the materials that human beings of those ages made and used help us to construct knowledge on those periods. Historic period. The period with written records is known as the historic period. These sources provide written information and they help to record history along with the sources from the prehistoric period. Let us preserve the historical remains. What are the objects preserved in a museum? A museum keeps the objects or their remains that were once used by man. They are preserved because they give much valuable information on the past of human life. Besides these objects, monuments like forts, palaces, old buildings, etc., are preserved because of their historical importance. Seek and find. The pictures given below are the remains related to the funeral practices in ancient Kerala. Find out their names and write them down in the columns provided. Kudakkallu, literally meaning umbrella rocks, is a collection of rocks shaped as overgrown mushrooms or stunted umbrellas. The rocks date back to 4,000 years, and it is believed that each of these umbrella-shaped rocks were installed as a memoir over the grave of the wealthy who were buried here. Muniyara dolmens are actually the burial chambers made of 4 stones placed on edges and covered by a large stone slab, also known as capstone, from the top. Several sharp-edged stones are used in these to cover the burial from all the sides. The Nanangadi is about 1 meter height and its brim had a diameter of about 12 inches. The top of the urn was covered with a round-shaped stone slab. 2 small pots looked like coconut and a bowl having a diameter of about 8 inches were placed near the urn. A human bone was found in the Nanangadi History Museum in school. Collect the objects of historical importance from your home and locality and set up a history museum in your school. Things to be collected are coins, palm leaves, antique lamps, old utensils, old tools, traditional agricultural tools. In search of data, these objects were used by our forefathers in the past. Make an inquiry on their importance with the help of the elders in your family and locality. Prepare a report based on the information gathered and present it in your class. Plow. A plow is a farm tool for loosening or turning the soil before sowing seed or planting. Plows were traditionally drawn by oxen and horses, but in modern farms are drawn by tractors. A plow may have a wooden, iron or steel frame, with a blade attached to cut and loosen the soil. Kindi. Kindi is a type of a pitcher usually found in old houses in Kerala and other parts of India. Early examples of kindi first appears in Chalcolithic period cultures of South Asia, notably in Savalda culture, and 2 well-preserved examples from Jorwe culture pottery dating to 2nd millennium BC. Hand fan. A simply hand fan may be any broad flat surface that is waved back and forth to create an airflow. Generally purpose-made handheld fans are folding fans, which are shaped like a sector of a circle and made of a thin material such as paper or feathers, mounted on slats which revolve around a pivot so that it can be closed when not in use. Water wheel. This traditional Kerala water wheel, also known as a chakram chavital, is a manually operated agriculture irrigation device. Cast in jackwood. This item is over a century old. Traditionally used in fields to redirect water flow from an underground spring, it is a beautiful and quaint testament to the simpler life in the countryside. Ranthal. The lantern became Ranthal. Some say its origin is a Portuguese word in Malayalam and spread fast among Malayalis. In addition to ranthals and chiminivilikku, bicycles also had headlights that used kerosene, and there were fans that worked with kerosene. Reckoning time. Today, the Christian era is the common scale of chronology all over the world. The period in history is divided into AD and BC based on the birth of Jesus Christ. The time before and after the birth of Jesus Christ is known as BC before Christ and AD Anno Domini respectively. Now they are also known as CE Common Era and BCE Before Common Era. Have a glance at the calendar. What are the different eras mentioned in the calendar? Write them down. Christian Era, Colum Era. Centuries. A century denotes 100 years. For example, AD 1 to AD 100 is the 1st century. AD 1901 to AD 2000 is the 20th century. In history, the question when is very important. The chronological sense helps us to find out the answer to this question. The chronological order and sense are inevitable in recording and learning history. Let us assess. 1. List of the various evidence that are helpful in recording history. The equipments and its remaining that were produced and used by the ancient people are major source of evidence. The equipments during the prehistoric period like cave painting, stone inscription, palm leaves, books, journals, magazines, coins, stamps, pictures etc. are very useful for data collection. 2. Classify the following into historic and prehistoric sources. Coins, stone weapons, books, ancient earthenware, cave paintings, palm leaves, stamps. Prehistoric period. Palm leaves, coins, stamps, books. Historic sources. Stone weapons, ancient earthenware, cave paintings. If you understand this chapter, thanks for watching the video. Thank you.